really become one with the fact that you did something, it didn't work out, and it's gonna be better next time you try it. Or don't. Maybe it failed so fucking hard you don't want to do it again. That's valid too. At the end of the day, all of these are experiences and stories that you can share with somebody so that people can see you for you. And I guess the first part of it is that the internet definitely convinced everybody that we're competing on looks. Social media specifically rewards aesthetics because it's easy to judge in seconds, right? It's a big billboard that's showing you at least a glimpse of personality, so it's easy to jump into that and think that's the end all be all. But it's not. It's really not, and it never really was. So people assume every interaction works that way when it doesn't, you know. Reality outside of the internet, outside social media, is different once you're actually talking to somebody face to face. Even in the chat room, it's kind of different. Hell, you know, you can kind of tell those people who don't have much going on in the chat rooms. Attraction specifically, if we're gonna talk about that from my young bulls, attraction starts visually, but it really doesn't survive on visuals alone. Like looks gets you noticed, but personality decides if you stay. And let me ask you this: have you been in a room with a 10 out of 10? Have you stayed in that room with a 10 out of 10? Probably not, because once you're talking to them past the wow, EG, you're so pretty, they're fucking boring. You know what I mean? And I guess moving that into the next point is you to beat that out, you should probably wear your quirks instead of hiding them. You want to wear your quirks in your sleeve. You know, everybody has something that they do that they think is weird. They talk too much. I talk way too fast. Honestly, this is probably going way faster than I'm planning to because I talk way too fast. There's weird hyperfixations that people have that really don't only make sense to them or are only that important to them. There's people who have dry humor and shit. Like people who really like the British version of The Office, I guess, if you can say it that way. But that's just what they're like, you know. We have all these obscure interests and ADHD energy that make you jump from hobby to hobby to hobby without really diving into it. But even speaking to that specific point right there, the ADHD energy, diving into those different hobbies, you learn things every time you try something new. And that becomes a part of your personality. It's a part of your lived experience. So I think that we just need to go back to the goal of, you know, trying to be weird or be recognizable because you're actually being yourself. Stop trying to erase things that make everybody blend together or erase those things or smooth out those edges so we all start looking like a blob, right? Because the goal isn't being weird for attention. Again, it's being recognizable because you're actually yourself. And it all comes down to the fact that interesting beats perfection every time. Perfect things aren't interesting because they're settled, they're solidified. That thing's perfect. It's never going to be anything other than that because it's done changing. There's nothing else to change. It's already finished. It's solidified. It's settled. That's it. That's fucking boring. Like for example, if you think about anybody from your class, you probably don't remember the kid who got straight A's. You probably don't remember the perfect attendance. You probably don't remember any of the kids who really nailed everything on the first time they did it because good for you. That's fucking boring. But I bet you remember the guy who slacked off in class and was restoring old Game Boys in the back of the class or tinkering with toys in the back of the class. You probably remember the person who could talk about mushrooms for 45 minutes if you live in like the PNW area, I guess. You know, or you probably super remember the kid who learned like some weird ass skill because it looked cool. You know, you probably remember the kid, or at least the first kid in your class who taught you how to emulate games because they thought it was cool, not because they wanted to be known or memorable. It was just some shit that they did that they thought was cool, and you locked into it with them, and now it's like, oh shit, this is cool. And you remember that guy because it's a shared experience in being different. You know, it's a shared experience in being like memorable for a skill as opposed to being memorable for just being there. You know, it's not because they're prettier, but it's because that person has texture to it. They got some grit. You know, being attractive gets somebody to look at you, but being interested gives them a reason to keep coming back. You want them to keep coming back. You want to hook them like a fish. You know what I mean? And again, I've been saying this before, but being perfect is fucking boring. It's forgettable. You ever been in a room with a 10, like I said? You don't stay in that room because they're fucking boring, you know? And I don't mean to insult attractive people because I think I'm pretty attractive myself, but, you know, I don't make it the focal point of my personality, you know? We've all met somebody who was like super fine and had nothing to say. The whole substance of their personality was just being fucking fine. And then like you also think about the people you see on a day-to-day basis who aren't model worthy quotation marks or whatever, because that's subjective, but like those average looking slubs that, you know, own every room they walk into because they know what they're talking about. They laugh louder. They tell better stories. They actually have better passions. Their lobster's way buttery and their steaks are mad juicy. But that's because they're not perfect and they don't try to be. You know, confidence built on identity beats confidence based on validation every time, because the confidence built on identity is tried and true and tested with actual scenarios, with actual things and actual interests that, or things that people find interesting that they want to share or maybe don't want to share. It's just something that they were gravitated towards. And you remember that passion that they have for that thing. But I guess me telling you all this doesn't really answer a question or, you know, get any gears turning in your brain, because I guess the hardest part is like, how do you become attractive without being attractive, right? And the answer to that is just, you have to know yourself before you sell yourself, you know? Think about what kind of person you're becoming with the actions you do on a day-to-day basis. If you play games all day, don't just mindlessly play games all day. Think about these interactions between you and the game and the product at the end of the day. The interaction between the person who made the game and how maybe they wanted you to feel, or how maybe they would be excited for whatever emotions you elicit from that. For example, right, we're watching Minecraft dungeon gameplay right now. Notoriously, I fucking hate regular Minecraft. It's boring. It puts me to sleep. It does something to my ADHD brain where I just can't focus on the craft because the music's too soft and there's nothing going on. On the flip side, Minecraft Dungeons, I put 40 hours into this game. I got this game for my kid, and I thought it was just going to be something I played with him when he came over and all of that good stuff, but like, I've put a lot more time into this game than I planned on doing so. And I would, you know, I'm looking into the things, and now I'm learning about it. The more I learned about this game is that it's a Diablo clone. I played Diablo before. I didn't really care too much for Diablo 3 because it was too much going on, but talking to people about just Minecraft Dungeons and my passion for Minecraft Dungeons now, a newfound passion, by the way, it's like Minecraft, it's like Diablo on baby mode, which I think is more than, you know, more than a good thing for somebody who has a job, who's playing the games to get their mind off of things, you know. I think that that's a perfect segue, and is getting me to think about like what went into making this game. Why is this game so enticing to me specifically? What am I getting out of it? You know, how is it interacting with me? How am I interacting with it? It's just giving you more to talk about at the end of the day. Like, that's what makes somebody interesting. Having something to say about things that they do, not just doing things without having anything to say, you know? And then, you know, for me personally, with the whole Minecraft Dungeons thing, I guess it goes back to the overarching thing is like, what am I becoming by playing this game? What is this game doing to me? You know, it's making me really think about how I interact with stuff that I wouldn't normally interact with, so I can have something to talk about, you know? Instead of just copying, you know, whatever is new, because this game did come out like 5 years ago, by the way. 2026, I think it came out like maybe 2020, 2021, something like that. It's not a new game at all. But by me going back and really taking my time to explore this game and getting what I can out of it, it's giving me more to talk about when it comes to games in general. I'm not just talking about the new COD that came out or waiting for Grand Theft Auto to drop with no fucking disc, or any gameplay videos. By the way, it's definitely mid-July. I haven't seen not one frame of GTA 6, so that bodes well for everybody. You know, that's gonna be fun to kind of see it all at the same time on reveal day. I hope it's good. But ultimately, your quirks become your hobbies, you know. Hyperfixations can become creative skills, careers, communities, friendships. And instead of seeing something as obsession, or obsession as something to suppress, excuse me, you got to use that, man. It's coffee one month, it's photography another month, then it's keyboards, then it's cycling, then it's woodworking, then it's being a music producer. All of these interests become stories. Whether you fail or succeed, you had an experience that you can talk about. Nobody can take that experience away from you. Nobody can make you feel bad for having an experience, because this is your lived experience. And having authentic experiences filters people out that are not authentic. It's kind of a self-fulfilling cycle at this point, you know. If you want to have more authentic experiences or be around more authentic people, have more authentic experiences to talk about with those people. Because newsflash, not everybody's supposed to be like you. If everybody likes you, you're either too generic or you're just really charismatic. But authenticity is efficient. It really saves time. It's not just you throwing sticks at the wall or throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks with people. It's just you being true to yourself and people gravitating towards that naturally. Like the people that stick around actually like you, and not somebody, you know, LARPing for approval, basically. You just can't appeal to everybody, and you should stop trying to do that. Every niche has people, anime nerds, gym rats, bird watchers, people who collect CRT TVs, mechanical keyboard enthusiasts, fucking ink collectors, people who speedrun old games. Like, you don't gotta be mainstream. At this point in time in 2026, there's just too much shit going on. There's too much stuff out there for us to get into, to where being normal and being milquetoast for everybody's approval just it's kind of one of the worst things you can do. You just got to be visible in your tribe. Finding your tribe is something that can really bolster you stepping into your own authenticity, because if you find a tribe that you can stick out in or you belong to, it's because you stuck out in other ways, and this was the group of people that really took you in based on your interests and based on your authenticity, you know. And to wrap this up with another gaming metaphor, because that's what we're doing in this channel, is think about it like Dark Souls. Self-improvement is like Dark Souls, you know. Don't expect to beat the first boss immediately. You gotta grind for it. You're gonna die, but you're gonna learn a pattern every time you come back. You're gonna upgrade every time you come back. You're gonna try again and reinforce the pattern that you learned. Real life is literally the same thing. Social skills are gonna be failure at first. Dating, you're gonna fail a lot. I failed a lot of dating, but you're gonna learn more every time. Fitness, literally the process and the science of breaking your body down and building it back up to be better. Creative work is probably the best place for failure, because that whole thing about being creative and creativity is there for you to fail and fail fast. But you know, to actually sit with your failures, critique them, and see what went wrong. If you make a clay sculpture or a painting and it fucking sucks, cool, that's one thing. It probably does fucking suck, but especially if it's your first time. But what you can do is take that experience that fucking sucks and pick it apart, do better with it, you know, really become one with the fact that you did something, it didn't work out, and it's gonna be better next time you try it. Or don't. Maybe it failed so fucking hard you don't want to do it again. That's valid too. At the end of the day, all of these are experiences and stories that you can share with somebody so that people can see you for you. You know, see you for what you're about and what you're into. And you know, close this one off. Failure is really only permanent when you stop loading and save, my guy. It's never a permanent thing if you keep playing a game. If you keep throwing quarters in the machine with extra lives, you're gonna keep coming back. It's not really failure, it's a setback. And I guess I'm gonna close it off this little ranty video here, because, like, you know, ultimately what I'm trying to say with this is that everybody's trying to optimize, you know, their face, but nobody's optimizing character. If you're weird, cool. Weird means it's something like more to discover. It's something that people haven't come across before. So keep being weird. Be weird respectfully, of course, but like, go get obsessed with something. Learn a skill. Build stories instead of chasing perfection. Nothing is ever perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, because the people worth meeting usually aren't looking for somebody who's flawless. They're looking for somebody who's real, man. Be real. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely want to hear from y'all, and then we can see what's going on with Minecraft Dungeons. Let me know if y'all fuck with this, or let me know if y'all hate this shit. I don't know. I like these type of RPGs, so I'm probably gonna play a lot more of this. Hell, I've been playing this shit for like hours on end at this point, at least 2 hours a night. So we're gonna be doing some more Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm gonna see y'all next one, man. Let me know how y'all feeling, and y'all rock out.